The conversation's on site. You know, it's SK Vibemaker DJ Illness. The first thing I want to say, though, is that you need to like, comment, subscribe. We have a new YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Get involved. And the second thing I got to say to that, share as well. The second thing I got to say is thoughts out to all of the friends, family, and people in the Caribbean right now who have been affected by the hurricanes, because it's a very serious thing. A lot of people's, lifestyle's been changed and affected. Even though we see people in Jamaica doing up lifestyle and doing up raving in the streets because they're trying to make, some sunlight out of the hurricane. But yeah, man, thoughts to all of the people affected by the hurricanes. You done know. How you feeling today, Illness?
Calm, fam, calm. Blessed to be here, man. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? It's a busy time, so yeah, man's kind of relaxed, enjoying this little downtime before the hectic weekend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, do you know what's mad about this whole Jamaica thing? I can't even remember the name of this hurricane. You know, they always name hurricanes things for obvious reasons, but I saw Mr. Beast. I don't know if you're familiar with Mr. Beast, done a thing where he built loads and I say loads, he built homes for people that were living in shanty towns. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw these homes, I said to myself, them homes are cool, but when the hurricane comes, it could be an issue. Bruv, imagine I had that thought, and then 2 days later, I've seen this hurricane has landed, bruv. It's mad, like, it's actually mad, bro. So I don't know if you've seen that, like, he calls it philanthropy. He's doing his thing, like, big him up. But yeah, fam, this is a shell-shocking moment, man. So thoughts and prayers.
Well, let's name and shame the hurricane. The hurricane. The hurricane is Hurricane Beryl. Hurricane Beryl, yeah? So, and I was discussing the other day, it's like, we're talking about blessings at the moment, the B in busy for blessings, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it like that on a positive one. Over here in the UK, fortunately, we don't suffer hurricanes, tornadoes, and those kind of things, man. Somebody was telling me that sometimes, I don't know if you know anything on this, but those hurricanes, they actually take animals up in the sky, just like in the movies. I thought that's just a movie thing, but they actually take things up in the sky like that. Crazy. In America, they have freaking earthquakes. We don't have this stuff over here.
Well, we had some kind of earthquake a few years ago, and people were trying to time their love making to make love at the same time that the earth shakes. It's like, it's not serious. But yeah, I mean...
Did you get involved in that?
No. It's none of these online social media things. You know, I'm not on this fanfare thing, bruv. So I don't even know why you would ask me. But what I'm saying is this... yeah, obviously the geography and the geographics means a lot of things finish up in the Atlantic before they get here, come in that way, and nothing really comes from the other side. So I suppose it's fortunate. But yeah, man, do you know what I'm saying? The world is a mad place right now. At the time of recording, it is voting day. I don't know what's going on outside in the streets. Have you voted, sir?
I haven't voted.
Are you voting?
I will vote. Are you voting? Okay. Have you voted, sir?
No, I'm going straight after this pod.
We're keeping it regal. Some people don't know in the world that we are in the UK, in London in particular, so we're keeping it regal. Sometimes I might call you sir. You're not sir. You ain't been to like the Queen ain't put the thing on you. The King, he didn't put the knife on your shoulders, the sword on your shoulders and that.
The quick correction about the Queen and the King. Big up Lizzie, man. A lot of people ain't really respecting Charles like that, but we're not going to get into that, bruv, because it's not that podcast. This is...
Why did you have to go there?
You said it, bro. I'm like, I like the correction. You get what I'm saying? Because, bro, she's still on our money, innit? So I don't really ever really, like, like she's not gone nowhere just yet. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously in my life, I don't know about your life and other people watching this podcast, but the only real relation I had to the Queen was the fact that she was on every coin and note that man had in my pocket. Like, other than that, it was just something that tourists were involved in. I digress.
Stay free, get Lizzie, man. Word to sincere, you know what I'm saying? Stay free, get Lizzie.
Shout out the gang. But yeah, man, the conversation is on site. I'm DJ Illness, SK Vibemaker, back with another week.
We are here.
Something that we
before. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to go the same way as me.
I'm about to clear something up.
Clear it.
I'd just like to say,
sweep right now.
Given recent episodes, I would like to just clarify that we are not an Eminem tribute podcast. We are not. Okay, a few of the comments meant that we had to go back in and clarify some things, and it ended up being a little bit more than we wanted it to be. So today we are going to spare your blushes from Eminem. If you've come to this talk about Eminem, That's it. You can leave now. But for the rest of you, welcome to the podcast. What are you telling me, my guy, man? Let's get into this. Was that what you was going to say, by the way?
Yeah, we had to sweep that up. Let's keep it a little bit positive before we move on from the Eminem thing. He has a good song at the moment called Toby, features Big Sean. He has his album, which by the time you're listening to this is out. But moving on from that, we have a new album from an artist that is not a new artist, but I would say the album has been anticipated for many, many years. Stefflon Dons has finally dropped her debut album, Island 54. And I know you've listened to it, Illness, because I listened 100%. To it. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to talk about this?
Well, I think in true ONSITE fashion, it's only right that we get our hot takes off before we actually delve into it. So, are you prepared?
Man's prepared, man. Man was born prepared. Man, I'm the Vibemaker, man. Know yourself right here, blood.
Long time since I heard that tagline, bro. Long time since I heard the tagline. All right, cool. Production, best production. Let's get it.
For me, my best production is What's Poppin' featuring Benson. You know what I'm saying? It's a song that people heard before. What's Poppin', Benson. What's your one?
My favorite production was Do It, produced by Beam. It's actually the first proper track you hear after the intro on that album. And it features Buju Banton still. Features Buju Banton.
On the second half of the song. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let me give some credit as well. Like What's Poppin', featuring Benson, produced by AJ Productions as well. You know what I'm saying? I want to give credit to the producers, man. What about your favorite lyric?
Absolutely. Okay, so I struggled a little bit for my favorite lyric. There was something that she said on the same track that I just mentioned, which made me laugh, yeah. She was like, she said, how does the lyric go, Mike? I didn't even write it down, but she was like, she said, I'll take your man and spend his paper. She said he don't bow, but he's a gully creeper. I was laughing, bruv. I was laughing my head off when she said that. Because, bro, it reminded me of a brethren that the man them had that lied for years, bro. He lied for years. And then his missus, when they split up, uncovered the truth. It was a mad thing. It was a mad thing. So that's why I like that lyric. But I think the lyric that I'm going to give her as my favorite lyric, and it's a bit of a cheat, if I'm going to lie, it's the hook on Evil. Yeah, the hook on Evil is one of the latter songs in the project. Yeah, I didn't write it down, I apologize, but the hook on Evil is mad. And the track Evil, like I don't
Evil.
This is the hot takes. This is the hot takes. Them Evil. We'll get to it. I'm gonna wait till after the hot takes. But yeah, the hook on Evil. What was yours?
My favorite lyric is on a song called We Build. Right at the end, she's in a reflective mode. She's in a gospel mode, and she says, "We speaking from a deeper place. Don't care about the chart. This thing should never be about numbers. Should be about the art." I just love that lyric, man. I mean, I feel like it really stands for a lot of things that we talk about regular right here on ONSITE. It's not about the numbers, it's about the art. It's about the art. I love that one. You know what I'm saying? And that was on We Build.
So the replay value?
Replay value, man. I feel like it's a good replay value. This is an album about chapters. I feel like it started on fire for me. There was like a second chapter of the project I didn't love. The third chapter, the fourth chapter, I steadily enjoyed more. But the second chapter, I didn't love too much when it goes to the Amapiano Afro wave vibe. So I say there's good replay value on this album. What about you?
For me, this is a certain tracks thing. 100% a certain tracks. I don't think I'm going to be in a rush to run through this whole album again. So I'll say it's a certain tracks thing.
I mean, considering I feel like there's 20 plus songs on this album, many people might say there's a lot of different variations, stuff for like different people. What about replay value, man? What's the replay value for you?
I've just answered the replay value, bro. Are you smoking?
All right, then.
Certain tracks.
Skips and repeats. Sorry.
Yeah, yes.
What's the skips and repeats for you?
I think what you just said in terms of the Afro wave bit section of the album, didn't love it, bro. I didn't love it, and I want to talk more about the album. But for hot takes, I'd say there's a good 4 or 5 skips for me out of 20 tracks. A good 4 or 5 skips for me out of 20 tracks.
Yeah.
Yourself?
I feel like the same on the skips. There's a good like 5 or 6 maybe skips for me. But the first 4 songs on this project, they started with fire, man. It was top. It was topper, Dweet, Money Grip, and Dilemma. It was absolute fire. Salute Steph for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so album in a word or phrase. Mine is last time when we done K-Traps, I felt I was being a bit rude when I gave my word or phrase. This time I'm definitely being a bit rude, but hopefully, you'll understand my word or phrase. My word or phrase is about time.
For real.
Like, Steph, we've been waiting. You know them ones there? Because this is the debut album. We've been waiting. And I'm like, finally, man. What's yours?
Mine's separate. I feel like Stefflon Dons is definitely separate from her contemporaries. People want to talk. She's separate, man. She's separate. So let's get into more of a discussion. Debut album from Stefflon Dons, Island 54. This has been anticipated. It was around 2016 when Steph first busts. I reckon that was the time she's really kind of making her mark with Real Ting, the song and the project. Then it was 2018, she had a project called Secure, and we've been waiting another 6 years for a full-length project from Steph. And now we've got the debut album in 2024, and it's called Island 54. Let's get the title of the album right. Stefflon Dons debut album, Island 54. And I feel like there has been anticipation from a debut album from Steph. She's done big things. She's done very big things, you know what I'm saying? Big things. But at this point, I feel like maybe for a lot of people, the albums came a little bit later than they needed. And for me, the anticipation has cooled. I would have said a good time for her to drop this album would have been 2019, 2020. I know she's gone through a few trials and tribulations with her label. She had a big label deal, and she's not in a label deal at the moment. She's gone back independent management, you know what I'm saying? So like, and I feel like she's kind of changed as an artist as well. When she first came out with Real Ting back in 2016, she was more a rapper.
Would you say changed or would you say evolved?
Changed or evolved. I wouldn't want to like say myself what it is, but regardless of what it is, some people might say she's changed. Many might say she's evolved. She was definitely more a rapper in her early days. Now she's more like
a sing J.
She's more universal. Yeah, she's a sing J. She does the dancehall thing with the melodies. She even does the Afro wave thing. And she raps. She raps a lot less. How was it for you, the anticipation for this project?
Where do I start? So much to say. I think that Stefflon Dons' talent is undeniable. And I think that was clear from a very early stage. I think there's a reason why so many people got very excited about Stefflon Dons from when she dropped that mixtape. When she was, people in the ends knew about her, but she wasn't necessarily a mainstream artist. I don't know if you just said the name of the mixtape, but she dropped a mixtape. The talent has been there.
Real Ting was the first one.
Yeah, that's the one. I think that's what I'm talking about. The talent has been there. So it's like the anticipation for her to actually, I don't even think it's anticipation. I think it was more of us waiting for her to say, all right, this is my album now. This is it. Because she's, charted, she's had varying success. Do you know what I'm saying? She's tried a few things. I don't even want to sully this conversation, but you know that record that she had, Move It, Move It? Bro, I was looking on her when I heard that record like, Steph, this ain't what we want from you.
But then she also done Bum Tam Tam, that one there.
Yeah, but that was hard. And that's an international move as well. Like, that's hard. That record still plays to this day. But that, like, the thing is with me, I have the fan mindset. I have the DJ mindset, and then I do my best to understand the business mindset. So when any artist gives me a record that I know is not for me, it's not like a mark on their repertoire. It's like, okay, that one weren't for me. And that Move It record just definitely wasn't for me. So when I got this album now, and I've put the album in, it started the way it needed to start. I'm sorry, them first 3 or 4 tracks had me speeding down the motorway, bro. Like, that Beam was in his production bag. Like, he was in his bag. She's got budget. She's going, like, that's how you start an album. Even from the skit, it's getting mad. Like, I'm here for it. And then the album took a left turn that I, honestly, again, this is me, I'm talking as a fan of Stefflon Dons like myself, was not prepared for. I do understand, as we've covered, she's got a global fan base. She's done, various records in the past. She had that record that Tiwa Savage jumped on the remix, that Give Me This Thing That You Wanted. I can't remember that. It's a big tune, bro. Big Afrobeat tune that Steph's got. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not going to try and sing on this podcast. So anyway, Tiwa Savage jumped on the remix. I'll find it. Anyway, so she's had a few records. What's Poppin'? I've been killing that record in the club. killing it. So when you said it's your favorite production, I'm like, I understand it. But for me, because I've had that record for a substantial period of time, it was like, okay, this has just been included on the album as to me thinking, do you know what I'm saying? But this is all, again, my own personal opinion. So I think that what I've surmised from this project is that dancehall Stefflon Dons is superior. Like, it's superior. She didn't, as you touched on, rap as much as, you know, back in the day, but she's a barrer still. She's a barrer still. And all of my standouts were the dancehall records. All of them were the dancehall records.
The songs that had the dancehall feel. They might not be dancehall songs.
They were dancehall.
They got the dancehall essence. They got the dancehall essence.
Yeah, and Them Evil is mad.
Yeah.
And it's way down the back of the project. So I think if I was critiquing, because who am I to critique? I'm just a DJ and a podcaster. Like this, it's not that artists give us the album as you want to give us the album. But if I was critiquing this album, or trying to exec this album, I would have said that the structure of the album was off for me. Because I
feel the same way. The sequencing, and I feel like maybe it's the versatility of Stefflon Dons that maybe is a gift and a curse, because that sequencing of that album, she could have moved the Evil track to the beginning of the album with all the dancehall songs. Then we got into the Afro wave, and then we could have had a rapping bit, I feel like. Is
it My Brother, the track about her brother's perspective when she's rapping? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think, I don't want to say that, listen, what you just said is the facts. Steph's so versatile and can do it all. It's hard maybe to get the sequencing that everybody's going to fall in love with. But I think that, you know, the Amapiano records, they're nice. They're nice records. But you see, after you've just given me that heavy dancehall wave, you've put Buju Banton on a record. I'm just not personally prepared for it. Like at that moment, I'm just not prepared for it. But I do think that, you know, it's a good project. And I think that I will take the sections that I absolutely fell in love with, I'll rinse them out, and then maybe I'll be prepared for the other sections with a fair and unjust or justified critique. You know what I'm saying? So big up Steph, man. What are you telling me? What are you saying?
So we've already spoken about like the dynamics and the like kind of sequencing of the album, but I want to give like Steph like some credit for the features on the album as well, because like we say, I know you don't like to, let's not even go down that wormhole, but she's independent and she's managed to get, you know, Buju on her album, Beam, Sidhu Muswala, Tacey, Benson, James Gillespie, I don't know, DBE, Adekunle Gold. So the features, lovely, strong, dynamics, you know what I'm saying? One of the standout tracks for me on this project is Brother's POV. I feel like she's speaking from the perspective of her brother, Dutchavelli, who many people might know has had a lot of trials and tribulations over the years. And there's a quotable right here where she says, I guess I'm effing cursed. I don't know why. I'm such a F. Does my mother even like me? Like, they're two separate lyrics, man. I'm such a F up. And yeah, she's really speaking from her brother Dutchavelli's point of view. And I feel like that was a very strong song on the album, man. Steph is just separate. There's some, I mean, like I say, people have been anticipating this album, and I feel like the chapters, it would have been good if maybe this was like, what's my man, Don Toliver, his recent album that came out was split into 4 chapters, and I feel like that could have been done with this Stefflon Dons debut album, Island 54, because we've got the dancehall vibes on there, we've got the Afro wave, Amapiano kind of vibes, we've got the introspective vibes, and we've got a little bit of rapping, and that DBE song just seemed like it was in a mix of, it needed to be separate
other
with
vibes.
A section. Yeah, with another vibe, you know what I'm saying? But salute to Stefflon Dons for a debut album, finally, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't, you know, they be putting out projects and not saying, this is my album. And she said, this is my album now, even though we feel like it's kind of came a little bit late. That's my verdict. I don't know if this is gonna elevate Stefflon Dons, but she's released her album, and that's what a lot of musicians, artists want to do, man. What's your verdict? Do you feel like this is going to elevate, or do you feel like this is going to do anything different for her career?
Definitely. I mean, different for her career is a bit strong, but definitely it's going to do stuff. There's a lot of quality music on there, man. There's a lot of quality music on there. I think, you know, I'm not getting into the weeds of, you know, how to create an album, because I've never created an album myself. Do you know, understand what I'm saying? And I think it's very easy for people that have never done that to start talking nonsense. It's like the people that try and tell footballers they're crap and they didn't even make it into an academy. It's just like, come on, guys, I'm not that guy. But what I will say is, I think, you know, when you are this, let me put it like this. This album could have actually been 2 projects.
For real.
Could have been 2 projects, because not only is there a lot of music, but there's a lot of different flavors. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it could have been 2 different projects, but it's good. And that's the main thing. And I think, like, I saw her getting into a back and forth with ZZ Mills. I know they say any publicity.
We don't need to muddy this review with that,
I'm saying what I'm saying. Any publicity is good publicity. But regardless of what anybody says, you or I says about this project, I think the talent that Steph has is just undeniable. And in places, in parts of this album, whichever vibe, whichever flavor is your flavor, you're going to be served well. So, do you know what I'm saying?
We're talking about some positive promo rather than, like, you know, maybe the back and forth that she's had with ZZ Mills.
Yeah.
The wrapped Lambo that she had in her album promo, I thought was serious as well. I feel like some people definitely made note of that. She was driving around in a Lambo and it had the wrappings of her album cover on it as well. Moving on from this album, Island 54 from Stefflon Dons, I just want to say, like, I feel like maybe, like we kind of already said, Stefflon Dons' versatility can be both a gift and a curse. Some people want the pop thing from her. Some people want the rapping thing from her. Maybe some other people want the Afro wave, that kind of pocket from her. Considering that she doesn't come from that part of the world and she's Caribbean, I feel like she does it well. I want to say maybe I know people don't like to hear this, but maybe underappreciated. I don't know if there's other reasons why. Maybe some people might want to comment on why she's underappreciated. Maybe people might argue that she's not loved or liked as a character, and I don't know if that has an impact on the way that, like, maybe her music's received. But Stefflon Dons, your debut album's out and it's strong, man. It's solid.